Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode in the middle of podcast month of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, and today I have two gentlemen that have a show on YouTube, on Spotify, and everywhere else you can find a podcast. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Over the Top Talk. Welcome, gentlemen.
What's up, everyone?
How we
Thank you
doing?
for having me on here.
Awesome,
How are we?
guys. So when did you guys get your start in the podcast world?
About probably 3 months ago, me and Anthony here
Yeah.
were just playing basketball, and he's like, let's just start up a wrestling podcast because we both like, WWE. And then we kind of just, made a name, Over the Top Talk, and just decided to start making some content, and it's worked pretty good for us lately.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. You guys been like lifelong friends, and you decided you were playing basketball, and then you were just like, instead of like that. Let's want to start like you're instantly into it. Like, is there any thoughts of any like wrestlers that you've been seeing on the scene, either in America or overseas, that you want to like try to like get in touch with them?
Yeah, there's a bunch. Like we've been only doing the indie scene so far, but we kind of want to get people from AEW too, and in WWE if they want to hop on the podcast. We're not at the point yet where like we want to spend big money to get an interview, but anything that we can get, we're grateful for. And everyone that's hopped on so far, it's been a pleasure with them. But people that I think about, like maybe like Matt Cardona, I know he's huge, but if we can even talk to him, that'd be awesome. Or people, maybe small people in AEW or anything like that. I'll really look forward to that in the future.
Awesome. So like who like as kids, who were some of like the radio or like podcast people you were watching to get like these ideas that you wanted to start a podcast?
Well, there were a few. I actually never really watched a lot of podcasts growing up, believe it or not. Some names I can put out. It's actually recently. Santi on YouTube, Mr. Santi Zap. He was a huge influence on me. He's a wrestling podcast host. He kind of started his recently as well. He has one called the Wrestling is Cool podcast, and he started that with his friend as well. And when I saw that, it kind of influenced me to kind of be like, I could do this. I can go in, start a podcast and just talk about what I love, which is wrestling. And Owen right here, he loves it as well. So what better way to do it than just start it together and see what we can build from it.
Awesome. So Owen, like as a kid, was there any wrestlers that you saw that you really idolized that made you love wrestling like you do now?
I idolized a lot of like John Cena because his quote "Never give up." I used to use a lot. When I was a kid, I loved his merchandise as well. I actually have a couple of shirts back there, but maybe Rey Mysterio is another one. I'm a shorter guy, and he's also short, so I've always loved Rey Mysterio's character and storyline.
Do you think that'd be like an inspiration to maybe try to somehow reach out to Rey Mysterio to get him on your show?
Yeah, definitely. If we could get him on, that'd be huge.
That's one of my dreams too, because like Rey Mysterio, I'm 5'1". I like jokingly call myself I'm a 5 foot fireball that will burn your ass with one touch. I don't even have to burn your ass. I just hit you. I just hit you with reality.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. I hit you with the reality bug. Yeah. So guys, like with your short amount of time in the podcast game, like have you like you must have had some really awesome guests so far. So like, you want to talk about who you've had on your show so far?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Actually, earlier today we just had one with Leia Sparks. We went about 30 minutes with her. She was awesome. She was very cool, talking about her how she just started wrestling actually like in January. She had her first match in January. And it's people like that that we're trying to get. We're trying to get people that are newer to the scene because like we can kind of relate to them, in a way. They're new to wrestling and we're new to podcasting. So we kind of can go a little bit like with that.
Yeah, it's
Um
fun with the we've had like three, younger ones on, such as like Madison Morgan, Kylie Harris, and Bella Snow. It's really good to hear their stories because they're younger, new, and hopefully we'll see some of them in these bigger companies one day. So it's very fun, interesting. It's fun interviewing like the younger stars.
I
mhm.
have some ideas because you're from like the East Coast of like the Boston part,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should try to get in contact with Little Mean Kathleen because she's the
Mhm.
Boston area.
Mhm.
Becca,
Mhm.
she's awesome. I love Becca. Becca, shout out to Becca. She's great. So also Little Mean Kathleen, Becca. Um, oh my gosh, there's so many stars in the on the Boston wrestling scene. Like what
Yeah.
kind of what like indie promotions do you guys hit up in Boston? You try to get as many as you can, or is it like there's a certain one you always go to?
Oh, we're always pinging all around. We're not going for any specific ones really. Believe it or not, we've only had like one in Boston. All
Mm.
the other ones have been nationwide. We've had people where Denmark, Canada, the mid US. Like we're just pinging all around the area.
No, I
But
mean like, have you guys actually got a chance to go to any indie shows together in
oh,
the Boston area?
oh,
Like,
not yet. No, not yet. We're planning on it. We're planning on it because believe it or not, this podcast has really introduced us to the indie scene.
hmm.
We haven't really watched much of the indies, so I think by us um, doing this podcast, it's gonna open up way more for us. We're gonna meet new people, so maybe when we go to this shows, maybe we can see them, we can meet them in person, which would be really cool.
Yeah. As I said, there's some really good, awesome ones you could definitely should write down. Little Mean Kathleen,
Hmm.
Becca. It's it's B3CCA. So it's not just Becca, like we spell like everybody else. Becca puts a 3 instead of an
Hmm.
E.
That's cool.
Because she's Becca, she's cool.
Hmm.
She's innovative.
Yeah.
She's an artist. Becca the artist, you gotta do that.
Hmm.
I can't think of them offhand, but there's a lot of good ones. Where I live in Pennsylvania, there's a promotion out here called PPW in Slatington, PA.
Hmm.
They have like their roster. They got Danny Moe, they got Fasage, they got oh my god, we have a trio championship here that just got introduced. That I was just like, when I go on the 20th, I'm like,
Hmm.
I have almost every title on my shoulder, like at every show I've gone to. The trios title, I'm coming for you, sucker. Three titles, Joey, three titles, Joey, three
Hmm.
titles, and they're
Nice.
gold too. So it's like gold and gold. So
Hmm.
this podcast is the internationally known home of champions. So like we've had
Yeah.
almost every belt from every country on this title. My wall is cracking because I have so many titles on the wall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my dad has to reinforce that shit with screws and. So, like, have you guys been watching like any of like the AEWs and the WWEs lately? Like, what do you think of the product that's been going on?
Oh, we are diehard WWE fans. Like that's what we watch. We WWE has been our thing since I've been watching since 2011, and I stopped actually in 2018. But now when Cody Rhodes came back was when I actually fully started watching again, and this whole Bloodline story has really drawn me in. And I've been enjoying this whole build up to WrestleMania. Um, I've been enjoying Cody finishing his story, hopefully finishing his story, and obviously The Rock coming back. Um, I've been like, I feel personally, I think this tag team match could be one of the best built up matches in WrestleMania like history. The time and effort they're putting into it is crazy. people have been saying we're getting too much Rock. I understand that. Like people say it's might be overshadowing the main event, Roman versus Cody, but I still think it's gonna be a great match.
I'm worried about it in a way. You know what I mean, Owen? You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
Because what if it's a short-lived thing? Like, what if they get Cody in the ring, Roman in the ring, and then the Rock bottoms him, and that's it. And then and Cody goes, and then he pins him, and that's it. What?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't want him to be like Superman. Like I want Cody to finish his story.
Yeah.
Alone and just like hit Roman Reigns with like 3 crossroads and just 1, 2, 3.
Even my dad was like, "That was whack."
I know.
He's like, "That was a good match, but the ending was made me mad." He's like, "I thought this match was gonna end with this guy winning." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pissed too." My dad doesn't like for me. Wrestling, I don't know if you guys know, wrestling for me, it hits me deep because my grandfather was a wrestler in the 50s and 60s. That's how I became a professional wrestling fan. That's how I got this love of the WWF. And well, before it was the WWF, and he wrestled under Vince's dad. One of his running buddies on the road was Haystacks Calhoun. And so like I feel hearing that song, the Cody Rhodes song, I always go, wrestling is more. I always hear. Anytime I hear it, I always do this. What are you doing? What are you saying like about that? One royal family. I got my grandfather. I got Pete Sanchez. I got me. Even though I've never wrestled, I could just do this podcast game. There's a lot of people that know this name, and they're like, who is Panther guy?
Yeah, definitely.
So, out of like all the matches that are gonna happen at Mania, like night 1, were you more excited to like watch night 1 or night 2, guys?
Whichever one has Uso versus Uso, I'm looking forward to that one.
That's fair. I'm really excited for LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I think that match is going to be phenomenal. No pun intended. Yeah, but I think that match is going to be. I think it's going to be a hidden gem. People might be skipping over it, not thinking about it as much, but I think that match is going to be phenomenal. No pun intended again. But also the 6-man tag team ladder match. You got to keep an eye for that one too. That match might be great. I have my hopes and wishes for that match too. I hope like this might be like wishful thinking, but I want them to split the tag team titles.
I keep getting this weird thing. I keep seeing all this stuff on Instagram. I don't know if it's like just wrestling's pipe dreams on all those little pages that they post little pictures. But I keep seeing that after WrestleMania, they're gonna have the Raw and SmackDown announcers, like the GMs, are gonna come in the ring. They'll be in the ring, and their announcement at the end of like that Monday, that big, the big Raw after WrestleMania, is gonna be that they're gonna whoever wins the titles, is anybody fighting for the belts that night? Or is it like a separate match, right? The tag team. Whoever wins the belts, they're gonna announce it and give the Raw their champions and SmackDown their champions. Which SmackDown's gonna do I keep seeing that Raw's gonna get their match, and they're gonna get their champions because that night I think they'll crown the champions. But SmackDown, they're gonna crown. They'll do a tournament on SmackDown in the weeks after that. That's what they keep saying, and I'm like, let's just walk in here like we're going to a movie in the 90s. Let's just walk into WrestleMania blind like everybody did in the late 90s or in the 80s before there were internet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys do it. I go on Peacock and watch all the old WWF stuff. Like, I just started watching the King of the Ring, like the 90s, the very first one. Man, I was like, WWE really missed the boat on keeping this thing alive. They have King of the Ring, but it's kind of a joke now. I don't know if you notice that.
Yeah. It kind of feels like, no offense, but the Money in the Bank contract has really lost a lot of steam recently.
Yep.
Austin Theory had his failed cash in. First time he got punched in the face by Tyson Fury. Yeah, punched in the face by Tyson Fury, and then this year we have Damian Priest, who's had like 700 failed cash-ins. So I think
ridiculous.
I don't know. It's crazy. So they have to
Do you
rebuild
think
that up.
kind of we may see a cash in, or do you think they're gonna wait that for night 2, or do you think they're gonna give us a cash in on night 1?
I think he's gonna cash in on. I think Drew's gonna pin Seth, and then and then Priest's gonna cash in and pin Drew.
Possibly. I don't know. Like, we have this huge build up, and like, do we really want to see those matches end with a cash in from Damian Priest? Like, I think Drew McIntyre deserves a run. He deserves a title run. Like, he has his point. Obviously, he won the championship in an empty arena in the pandemic, and I think he deserves it. I think he deserves a nice long title run, like not like super long, maybe like 6-7 months. But I don't know if giving Priest the belt would be the best move yet.
I just feel bad if he turns around, thinks he's ready to rock, and then he gets the big boot to the face. It's over. He gets the treatment for he gets the what's his name? Daniel Bryant treatment. He's like,
Oh yeah,
okay, thank you, and then boom, he gets
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I think there was definitely a time though. There was definitely a time for the cash in to happen. Maybe during like Seth Rollins and Finn Balor's feud. I think that could have been a good time to do it. That could have broken up the Judgment Day, imagine it, and then we got like Damian Priest versus Finn Balor at that time for the World Championship. I think that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. So I see you have a lot of Cody Rhodes stuff behind you. So like,
oh yeah, I do.
Out of all the Cody Rhodes matches that's happened so far, either in AEW or in WWE, which give it a top 5, what would be like your all-time favorite matches?
Sheesh. Okay, that's a hard one.
That's why I answered the questions.
Well, yeah. let me think about this real quick.
4 years of podcasting, bro.
Oh my god. All right. It's in no particular order, all right? No particular order.
Just give us throw cards in the dark.
All right. Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Number was it 2 or 3 in the Hell in a Cell? I think that was number 2, right? I think that was her second meeting. No, that was her third meeting, I think, in the Hell in a Cell. Let's see. Wow. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. That match was great. Even though it ended in a poor way that we didn't want to see. That was a great match. Oh my god, this is harder than I thought. I think he had a match against Sami Zayn before. I really loved that. That match was a sleeper match. No one liked that, but people say it was kind of they went over. It was on a random episode of Raw. That was a great match. I haven't really seen any of his AEW stuff, but who else? Well, let's see. I enjoyed the little saga with Shinsuke actually. I think that was a good one.
Like, what do you guys think about what they're doing to Nakamura now? I know that everybody loves the whole misting thing. I'm like, but do you think he's getting a little too much like Great Muta, or is it like a silent tribute to him or something like that? I don't get it.
I think he's getting buried, unfortunately. Which is, I want to see him like be pushed more. I don't want to see him kind of be like a wrestler to put someone else over yet. Like I want to see a Shinsuke win. I want to see him succeed. Obviously not like winning the world championship level yet, but kind of like actually like competing, feeling like a threat. Like when Shinsuke comes out, I kind of just feel like, oh, here's Shinsuke. He's gonna lose. But I want to be like, here, Shinsuke, he's going to put on a great match. It's going to go for like 20 minutes, and it's going to be a competitive, close match. But that might be just me. But I want to see him succeed.
Owen, how do you feel?
I mean, I like Shinsuke. The storylines lately with him have just been so like bland. Like Anthony said, I do think they're attempting to bury him. Obviously, I don't know how I feel. I don't mind it because I feel like, I don't know. I'm not like the biggest Shinsuke fan, but I have like some, I don't know. I feel like he is being treated poorly, but I don't know. I feel like he might. I don't know. Um, yeah, those are my comments on that.
I think
I felt
I
bad
have
when
like
your buddy was answering all the questions, and I'm like, I gotta ask Owen. Owen's right next to me. Gotta ask him.
I, I think I have like an unwritten like love for Shinsuke Nakamura because it brings me back to the NXT Black and Gold days.
Yeah.
So whenever I see him, I kind of have that connection because I really enjoy NXT a lot. And
My one and only favorite thing Nakamura has ever done is "Come on." I can't see my legs, but the hands by the crotch, kind of like thing from Major Leagues with the Asian pitcher, and doing
yeah,
the big balls. Like, come on! All I can think is I see that and I die laughing.
mm-hmm.
Like if my friend doesn't, my friend's late to come pick me up for a wrestling show, I send him the Nakamura meme. Come on. We're late. No, Joe, the show doesn't start for like 2 hours. We're not there yet. I'm not standing online to get in the building. No. Yeah. Do you guys have any upcoming interviews that you want to talk about?
I can grab my thing real quick. We do have a decent amount. So on Sunday we got Nicholas Ragland. Monday Saturday Nicholas Ragland. Sunday Shiva Queen. Then throughout the week we got some people. So we enjoy having those people on. Hearing all their stories is very interesting to us, and just getting some interviews. It's fun to conduct them as well. And on Thursday we're doing like our final WrestleMania predictions, and I think that's all.
Well, if you need someone to be a third wheel on your interview to do the WrestleMania predictions, I'm not busy. Send me a message. I'll help you out, guys.
Yeah.
Definitely. We're actually looking for a bunch of people to get in there. We're trying to gather a big group of people.
I could spit some hot fire. I'll say if I can't curse, I'll censor myself. Be like, son of a beanbag chair. These pickles are gross, bruh. Oh, random words from Joe.
There's still so much to talk about WrestleMania. There's a lot that could happen, what could play out.
There's a lot of random things. Like, remember, WWE could still toss in a random match. Like, they could toss in, like, they could change the tag team match. What if they make it a ladder match for the tag titles?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Remember, it is. Yeah.
I think the women's tag team match is going to be a 3v3. I think it's going to be the Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai versus Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. I think that's a way that they can showcase Jade Cargill with kind of protecting her at the same time, if they're not fully confident in her skills in the ring yet. I think that'd be a good way to give her like a nice little showcase. Another match that might play out, which I really hope doesn't play out, is Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross. I hope that's not on the WrestleMania card, or the Street Profits versus AOP. Like, I don't want to see that either. I don't want to see any of that.
That just makes Street Profits look weak because those guys are like bulls.
I know, they're awesome.
They're nasty. It's like almost like feeding. It's like watching a poor defenseless cat just get like attacked by 2 pit bulls.
I know.
No, call the ambulance. Call an ambulance.
Like they missed a huge shot with Montez Ford. Like last year at the Chamber, he was like doing flips up at the top, and I thought like they were getting ready for a push, like a solo push from Montez Ford.
Yeah, because they were talking about it. He was talking about it during like backstage segments. He was always saying, man, it'd be nice to try my own thing. Maybe, and he kept talking about the IC belt, and I'm like, ooh, maybe we could see him win the IC title. I don't know about the world title, but IC title. Maybe send him to SmackDown, have him go after the United States title, whatever. Right? United States on SmackDown, right?
Yes,
Send him to SmackDown. Maybe have him turn
Mhm.
heel because now he's a heel, sort of. Like, am I right?
Mhm.
Those guys, they kind of don't like fit the heel guys.
Yeah. It's funny because you can see they tried turning them heel, but it just didn't work because the crowd loves to cheer them. So they kind of had to pivot back, making them
Yeah.
face, which is that's kind of
I
funny.
also
When
feel
that
like
happens, it's funny.
I also feel like them joining Bobby Lashley was a bad decision for their like tag team group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you make them turn on Bobby Lashley and like get somebody else to take his spot?
Yeah.
Maybe turn on him, but maybe like stay just as a tag team. Maybe not have like that third person.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's getting dry. It's like I'm surprised no fans have messaged WWE or sent a mail like, time to move on from the team. Like, let's go. I have
Definitely.
heard some people thinking that they were trying to make it like a nation of domination kind of thing.
Maybe I don't know. I feel like they're really holding back the Street Profits though.
Yeah.
Like they're really holding them back. Like we can see, like we've seen what Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins can do in the ring. Like they are, like you said, they're like they're beasts in there. They're like a great tag team. They could easily be a contender for the tag team championships. Like they're ready for it. They're actually former tag team championship. So they can easily win that. Go after the Judgment Day and be a huge threat against their titles. But I don't know. I feel like I guess they think AOP is more of a threat, which is I don't
It's
know.
kind of weird that people think that AOP is actually a threat. They're kind of like,
I know.
I kind of see them and go, eh?
Yeah. They're not. I don't resonate with them at all. I don't think they're good. I think they're basically a copy and paste generic big, strong wrestling gimmick. That's what they are. It's just a copy and paste.
Yep.
They've done this exact same thing before. It kind of reminds me of like the 2013 Shield, maybe
Yep.
2012 Shield. It's like the same type of concept as that.
Like
So
Legion of Doom. They're,
yeah.
like Vince's ideas of the big scary guys that they had in the 90s and the 80s, like the Doom of WCW, the two black guys, and the Legion of Dooms and the Demolitions and the Nation of Domination. Oh, big black guys, scary. Rah. And now it's just like we have these two big guys with the legendary man. The only reason they made him look good is they tossed in the little bit of like crystal skull, the crystal like light, little old school.
Mhm.
Let's give him Paul Ellering. He's legendary. Let's give him a legendary manager. Maybe that'll make him sound even cooler. And it's just we're always going, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that good. It's really not that good. Like
I got
they're a
mad. I was
bathroom
like,
break.
I love old school wrestling, and I'm like, you can't. What's the phrase? You can't paint a turd a different color and change it what it is. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's Paul Ellering. I've seen him 10,000 times with the freaking Legion of Doom. What are they gonna
Yeah.
make? This is the new Legion of Doom, the creepy without the makeup Legion of Doom. Like,
I mean, they're definitely trying to make them feel like a threat.
yeah,
Like, but that's I don't know. I feel like they're gonna go even further than that because I don't even know what to call Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Like, do we call them like the Hurt Profits, like the Hurt Business?
yeah. I
Like,
think they had a name, and I think everybody just gave up and went, just call them the
mhm.
Street Profits.
Yeah,
Just stop. Like,
I know because they added B-Fab to their group, so I think they're gonna have her like fight Scarlet or something, and I don't know. I think we're gonna get a full faction match, unfortunately.
yeah, they should just save that for November and just like forget they ever did it, and then Survivor Series do like they did in the '90s, have a team with a name. Like,
Yeah.
all right, guys, before we go, if there's
Mhm.
any younger than us, like people that wanted to start like a podcast,
Mhm.
what kind of advice would you have for them?
Well.
I'd probably tell them to just go for it because me and Anthony kind of just came up with the idea one day, and it took us like it's not too hard to make a podcast. So I think just if you want to do it, just go for it. If you don't, then don't.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Just if you have an idea, it's better just to do it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you don't take that shot, you might regret it in the future. And just if it's a passion of yours and you feel you know enough about it and you feel that you want to build a fan base with you and you all can express that love of one thing together, which us is wrestling, obviously. But if you can do that, like, that's awesome. You can make a change in the community. If you can make someone's day better from watching it, like, that's our goal. We wanna entertain people and get to know people's stories. So that's our goal in this.
Awesome. Guys, I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It really means a lot to have another fellow
Thank you.
podcast, and not to mention you guys are the new awesome podcast on the block, and I'm just 4-year vet that's been here, just been talking to everybody and anybody that has a wrestling pulse. So good luck, guys. Nothing but the best of luck. Good luck on your upcoming interviews. All the best to you
Thank you.
guys. Good vibes. Good vibes. Hopefully everybody messages you back. Definitely check out check out their content. What is your YouTube channel so everybody can go give you guys a nice subscribe?
It is just at Over the Top Talk on YouTube, on all platforms. Over the Top Talk.
Awesome. I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm Owen.
I'm Anthony.
And we will catch you in the next one.